Marvel has just introduced the cast of the MCU's X-Men. Let's talk about it. Okay, so Marvel has just introduced the cast of the MCU X-Men, and I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, outside of Sadie Sink and Adam Driver, I never heard of, of any of these people. That's not really too shocking for Marvel. They like to get younger actors and actors that are not really that well known, so they can, pay them a little cheaper and lock them into long contracts, contracts that can go on for like 7 years or 7 movies, 7 movie deals and things like that. So, it's not really that shocking. Fit the roles. So, okay, let's talk about this cast. Let's start with Sadie Sink. She's coming fresh off of Stranger Things and introduced us to her version of Jean Grey in Spider-Man Brand New Day this summer. Obviously, the actress I believe she's really in her 20s, but it seems like her version of Jean Grey that she's playing seems to be more of a teenager, which is, going to be interesting for what we say going forward. But, this is a very different take on Jean Grey, as more of like a darker story for her than, what was usually presented and really what was her backstory in the comics. So they changed things up a lot with her, which also may be telling for how they're doing the X-Men in general, that everything that we know, all the backstories, that have been built in, everything could be changing. Next, let's go to Kit Connor, who's going to be playing Cyclops. Kit Connor is from the Netflix Heartstopper series. I have not watched this show. I know about the book series. I haven't read them, but I know about it. I know basically what it's about. I haven't read the book or seen the show, but it's very popular. And, so I don't know his work, but I assume that, Marvel saw what they needed to see in him, and, that's how he got the role. Samara Weaving, who will be playing Emma Frost. Let's be honest, Emma Frost is not the most difficult character, and Samara, she looks the part, she's a solid actress. So that should not be a difficult thing to pull off and give us a convincing Emma Frost. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting to me, as I said earlier, it looks like they may be changing everything about their stories. But Sadie Sink's Jean Grey is a teenager. I'm assuming Kit Connor's Cyclops is going to also be a teen, or maybe, just touching his 20s maybe. Samara Weaving's Emma Frost. How does she fit into this? I'm guessing she's in her late 20s or whatever. So relationship-wise, is her Emma Frost going to be involved with Kit Connor's Cyclops? And also, will there still be the relationship between Cyclops and Jean Grey, which is like, that's like the basic building block right there in X-Men. Going by how everyone's age is going to be, what's going to happen. And also that's another thing. Apparently Marvel wants to keep Hugh Jackman as Wolverine going forward. He's going to play Wolverine until he gets tired of playing Wolverine. He's going to play Wolverine until he tells Kevin Feige,
"I'm tired, boss."
So he's going to be Wolverine for some time. But Wolverine, Jean, Cyclops, that love triangle is the core.
Scott.
It's the core right there, man. And obviously, if Sadie Sink is playing a teenager, you're not going to have Hugh Jackman Wolverine with her.
Girls flirt with a dangerous guy, Logan. You don't take him home. You married a good guy.
I could be the good guy.
Logan, the good guy sticks around.
No. So I don't think they're going to go that route. And apparently, it looks like they're not even going to have Wolverine be in the X-Men, at least not from the start, which is very strange to me. If you go back in the book, John Size X-Men #1, when this new team came into contact, that love triangle started then. It started from jump, with Wolverine, the second he met Jean, and Cyclops, and Cyclops' people hating him. That's what kicked this whole thing off. So if we're eliminating that, I don't know, man. This is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very different. It's gonna be an all new, all different X-Men. Let's see what I did there. So this is gonna be a very, very different telling of X-Men. If Wolverine's not in the mix, so is Cyclops with Jean? Is Cyclops gonna be with Emma? I mean, I guess you could still do the Emma, Jean, Cyclops thing, but I don't know. Maybe it's too early to talk about what relationships are going to be forming in there. I don't know. Let's move on. Indy Navarrete. I think that's how you say her name. I am not familiar with this girl's work. She's from the movie Obsession, which was a big hit this year. I have not seen it yet, but everyone that has seen it has told me it is great. I've seen pictures of her. She looks like she could be Rogue. What I mean? And if she can pull off the Southern Belle accent, then hey, go ahead, do your thing. Okay, so she should be solid. So taking over the role of Storm is an actress named Maya Boyd, who is she's a Broadway actress, so that says a lot about her skill level right there. And also, apparently, Ryan Coogler was very, very much involved with the casting himself. So, this man, he does not miss. So if he selected her, then, she's got to be, come on, this is the guy that's got the only Oscar, Oscar wins for Marvel, period. So, this man, he knows what he's doing. He knows his casting. So, hey, if she's cool with him, then we know she's going to be an awesome Storm. Then there's Adam Driver as Mr. Sinister. I'm not a big Adam Driver fan. He's not bad. He doesn't turn in bad performances, but to me, he's very dry, kind of very. I'm just not a big fan. Just not a big fan of the guy's work. He's not a bad actor. I'm just not a fan of his work. However, I think he'll nail Mr. Sinister. I think his sort of like low-key, kind of like understated performance, but deep, intense kind of performance will be good for the role. Also, another thing about him being picked, which makes me very happy, because in back in the day, when Mr. Sinister, debuted, he was a serious menace. This guy, like he didn't. It always seemed like he was going to do something huge, like he was a big threat that was always looming. And at some point, they totally changed him and made him this like cartoonish clown who's, there's nothing scary about the guy. It doesn't matter what he does. It's going to fail in the end. And he's like a joke. He's a joke character, really. So if Adam Driver is playing him, you can bet that it's going to be more towards the original depiction of Sinister, which is a great thing. And not the current clownish, foppish version that's been disgracing the character for the past decade. So, it's just like, yes, just stop it. So Adam Driver, good choice. Okay, so as I said, it's pretty much a done deal that Adam Driver is going to be playing Mr. Sinister. But back in Spider-Man: A Brand New Day, there was, and this is just my own personal opinion, there was the actor Tremel Tillman who was playing William Metzger for Damage Control, and he was the one that was tormenting Jean and her sister and everything. I felt that like that character could have been would have been fine if he had become Mr. Sinister, or if he already was Mr. Sinister and this was just another identity he was using and everything. Because I mean, the whole thing of Mr. Sinister, he's obsessed with Scott and Jean and their bloodline and everything, and so just the way that that Tillman's character was presented, he was so interested in mutants. He wanted to study them and this. I thought it would have been perfect. I thought it would have been a perfect setup if this man had turned out to become Mr. Sinister. Instead, he's probably just going to be one of those characters that just kind of disappears into the MCU and we never see or hear from him again. It's not about this movie, not about the X-Men, but more about Doomsday. How on earth is Channing Tatum in Doomsday and Halle Berry's Storm is not? Come on. I mean, Channing Tatum, he wasn't even really in the X-Men universe. I mean, he was in Deadpool and Wolverine because he's a friend of Ryan Reynolds and because he always wanted to play Gambit. There was a real man who played Gambit in the Wolverine origin movie. Why wasn't that guy in the movie? Why isn't that guy in Doomsday? How are you having X-Men and you don't have Halle Berry? You don't have Halle Berry's Storm, but you got Channing Tatum's Gambit who wasn't even in the thing. The disrespect. All right, so that's it. That's my take on things. So what do you think? Is this a cast that you like? Is there anyone else that you would have preferred to have seen in those roles? Let us know. Let us know in the comments, and and we'll just see how this whole thing works out. All right, coming up, we got my guy SP0 telling you about the comics he's read this week and the books that he thinks you should check out. And until next time.
And number one this week has to go to Absolute Superman. It rocked.
Thanks for spending some time talking comics and comics legends. If there's somebody that you'd like us to do a story on, leave it in the comments. While you're down there, like, subscribe, and do all those YouTube things.